Hi friends, Kate Smith Course here. This is a video where I talk about the full moon in Scorpio, and this is happening on May 16th, and the energy is again potentially intense. I mean, full moons can already be an emotional time because it's kind of this culmination point. It's halfway through the lunar cycle where we can kind of assess what's been working for us and what hasn't, and what we need to release before the end of the lunar cycle and into the next one. So this is also a lunar eclipse, which makes the energy a little bit more amplified, or maybe a lot more amplified. So this could potentially push us to grow through the challenges that present themselves. So eclipses are usually a time of transformation and growth, but sometimes it is associated with challenges as well. So the challenges are going to be what is pushing us forward into our growth. So the full moon is in the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio is a water sign, but it's one of those signs that kind of feels like it has maybe a duality aspect to it, because although it's a water, it also feels like there's a little bit of a fire energy with Scorpio. That might just be me personally, but Scorpios are, you know, mostly represented by a scorpion, but there are other symbols for Scorpio, like I believe it's the eagle and the phoenix. And when I think of phoenix, I think of fire rising from the ashes, rising from the flames. And so I think that that's part of why I get a little bit of this fire from Scorpios. But Scorpios, although they can be a little bit feisty, they are very emotional, since they are that water sign as well, and they are very intuitive. So we might have heightened states of emotions and intuition at this time. There might be a perspective shift through the things that we are experiencing. We might be able to look at our emotions from a new perspective, especially since the sun is in Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus is very grounded. So you might be figuring out how to get to the root cause of the emotions that you're having. Why am I feeling this way? What's the emotion that's behind it? And where did this stem from? So that might be something that you're exploring at this time. I also have Yasmin Boland's Monology deck here. So I pulled out the full moon in Scorpio card, and it says it's time to release negativity. So this might be a message that will resonate for some of you as well, how to work with this moon. So it says, if you've been feeling paranoid and acting weird, take this card as a very direct message from the cosmos to stop it. Worrying yourself is pointless. It's time to release any negativity you have around the situation you're asking about. If someone has been unkind to you, perhaps it's time for you to release them. This card heralds an emotionally intense time, since both the full moon and Scorpio themselves are both extremely intense. It's time for you to feel all your feelings. There could be some nastiness in the air when you pull this card. I think that this also comes from Mercury retrograde, where communication can be a little bit muffled, or things aren't coming out properly. And there's also been some other astrological things going on that might lead to that heightened emotions and kind of defensiveness in a way. So when you pull this card, if that's the case, take it as a sign to move away from anyone or anything you feel is toxic. For some, however, this card has a totally different meaning. Your sex life can improve now if you make an effort. Use your magic. You have all you need inside you to bring about your desired results. So Scorpio is known for their sexuality, sensuality, even in the design of Scorpio itself. That's, I mean, part of the way it's designed intentionally is to point out the sexual nature of Scorpio. Taurus, the sun being in Taurus, Taurus is also a very sensual sign. So you might be feeling those heightened emotions in that area of your life as well. One thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video is that this is called a blood moon because the moon will be illuminated in such a way that there will be this orangish, reddish, this bright ring around it. And some people say that it is like a gateway. So I've kind of mentioned this already. It's to find out who we are, what our purpose is. So that's how this energy of this blood moon might be forming this energetic portal, this energetic gateway into really doing that deep dive into who we truly are. And one of the messages that I channeled was the answers you need lie within. The answers you need lie within. So you only need to look within to find those answers for yourself. Those answers are already there. Sometimes we're constantly asking for guidance, asking the divine, our angels, our guides, asking us for help. Sometimes the answers are already in here, and we're the ones that we need to tap into ourselves, our higher selves. So that's one of the things that I wanted to touch on as well. Now, I did pull the full moon eclipse card as well because eclipse energy is important. So what this says for full moon eclipse is full moon eclipse. And just like that, a door slams shut. If you've pulled this card, it suggests that the situation you're asking about is about to reach a peak or has just done so, and things are now out of your hands. So this says conclusions are within reach. What you're experiencing now is what your soul signed up for, a way for you to learn and for your soul to evolve. And that's a huge message here, is the evolution of our soul, finding out our purpose, the challenges leading to growth. So allow events to unfold and be easy on yourself. If you're letting go of someone or something, know that it's the right time, as hard as it might be. Forgiving someone for what they did could be key to resolving this situation in a positive way. So forgiveness is always huge. It doesn't make right what they did, but it releases it so you can move on. And I feel like moving on, moving forward, growth, progress, finding your purpose, making this more about you and yourself is really important at this time. So with the Taurus sun opposing the Scorpio moon, there's a call for us to strike a balance between the material possessions, which is really important to the Taurus, and immediate pleasure, the immediate gratification of pleasure, versus Scorpio, which is very much that internal, emotional, maybe things might take a little bit longer to manifest, but it's gonna be so much more gratifying in that way. So balance out, what can I do now to help myself get to where I want to be, and how can I process the emotions that I'm feeling to help me move and grow into the person that I want to become. So those are some things that you might want to journal about or consider. Of course, if you're into journaling, a good thing to journal about always during a full moon is, what do I need to release at this time? What am I working on releasing? So some other things to consider is there might be this need for balance between form and structure in our lives versus the deconstruction, underlying truths that maybe we've kind of avoided because I guess it's almost inconvenient sometimes to look at things, situations, emotions from a very truthful perspective. But Pluto rules over Scorpio. And the planet Pluto is known for its ability to transform, rebirth things, almost come at it from a destructive nature, but it happens so that things can be reborn, right? And so that's almost the energy of Scorpio. We're going to tear things all the way down so that we can build them back up. So those might be things that we're considering. What forms and structures, what rules have we had in place for ourselves that maybe no longer are serving us? And how can we remove ourselves from that to better step into the life that we want to live? So maybe what new rules and structures should we implement at this time? And I think that definitely goes along. I mean, if you're into tarot, the Hierophant card definitely goes along with the Taurus feeling. And the Taurus is about, or Hierophant is about a teacher. So you might be feeling at this time the need to be teaching or even learning, opening up your channels, learning more information about the spiritual realm, maybe metaphysical things. Maybe it's about astral projection or meditation or opening up your intuition. So some of you might be really working with those things, learning those things at this time. I think that that is the main things that I wanted to talk about with this full moon. It does feel like there's the potential for it to be intense and emotional. You might need to take a step away from people to be by yourself for a little bit, either on the 16th, the day before, the day after, you know, that general time frame. Because it feels like there's the potential for maybe, I don't want to say feeling argumentative, but a little bit of overwhelm, because there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy floating around. So removing yourself if you feel the need to. A couple of cards to go along with this. Oh, Divine Amethyst. And this is, again, amethyst is that color of that intuition, that divine connection with spirit. So definitely going along with the energy that we're going to be feeling. This says divine alchemy, move beyond current challenges, focus on what you desire. So what structures are in place that are hindering us? What are the current challenges that are coming up, especially with the lunar eclipse? What challenges are coming up? How are they helping us grow and move forward? Focusing on what we desire and how we can step into that. We have the Page of Wands. This almost feels like a card of hesitation. They're looking back at that path like, I really want to move forward, but something is just hindering me. So really doing a deep dive into what is holding you back. What limiting beliefs do you have, and where have they stemmed from? Is it something in childhood? Is it something that you learned as an adult? You know, really digging down to those roots so that you can move forward and prosper. Page of Cups. I think that the cups are very intuitive. Looking at it from a childlike perspective, looking at the intuitive messages that you receive from a childlike perspective. So we've been taught, oh, that's just your imagination. You know, if you're receiving a divine download or seeing an imaginary friend, you know, there's so many things that we experience in childhood that are just written off. And so I think that looking at things from a childlike perspective could be beneficial to helping us grow and expand our intuition. Ace of Swords. For some of us, there might be a lot of clarity coming in with this full moon. Maybe it's through the journaling exercises that you're doing, or maybe you're doing meditations, divine downloads. Something's going on at this time where you are really receiving a lot of clarity, maybe an aha moment, like this is it. This is why I've been behaving the way that I have, or the reason that I haven't taken action on something. And then the Nine of Cups. This is a wish come true. It feels like she's sitting there. She looks like she's meditating. She's so peaceful. Take the time to go within. It feels like a gift is going to be given to you from the divine. Maybe it's in your meditation. So it might be that aha moment, that download that you receive. That might be your gift. It could be a physical one, or it could be an emotional gift, something that's very sentimental. Maybe it's a memory coming back to you. So I'm seeing things like that for this Nine of Cups. If you have made it all the way to the end of this video, I encourage you to leave 3 of the Scorpio emojis. So they could be the scorpion or the Scorpio symbol. 3 of those emojis in the comments section to let me know that you've stayed all the way to the end. I did, before we leave, want to talk about a couple of crystals that might be really good for you to work with in this full moon. So we have amethyst Amethyst is great for intuition. It's really a good all-around stone for cleansing as well. We have these at the Awareness Intuitive Studio. This piece right here is only $25. Labradorite is fantastic. It has the beautiful flash, and of course you see the ring light reflection on it. But this is a sphere. We have tumbles and towers and stuff as well. This piece right here is $35. You can just use a tumble. It doesn't have to be something large. But maybe meditating with this, or scrying into crystals could be good. And then also Black Moonstone, great for the divine feminine. And the lines that go through this remind me of scars. So this is my personal experience with Black Moonstone. Sometimes I feel like it's really good for helping us dig through our emotional wounds to get to the root cause. This reminds me of those scars, those wounds that we've developed in our lifetime. So really helping us process those emotions in that way as well. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have a beautiful full moon in Scorpio lunar eclipse, and I will be seeing you guys later. Bye.